Putting up Christmas decorations was already a feat in itself. The first-year boys would argue every now and then when antics ensued, most likely from Kaminari and Sero, whilst the first-year girls worked together very cohesively. As a third-year mentor, you put your hand up in providing the materials for the decorations to be dispersed throughout all of the students, going back and forth between storage rooms. It was Class 1A's turn for your assistance, having to deal with the second years all morning. Every now and then you would approach either Yaoyoruzu or Ida for anything they needed before heading off down the halls for more materials, but not without stopping by a few others to see how they were going. It felt like a busy morning, but one surrounded by all of your fellow classmates and friends. The Christmas spirit was well on its... You wanted this. Smoke. There was so much smoke. You could hear the sirens outside, but the smoke was too thick for you to see where you were going. It wasn't long ago that you were in one of the storage rooms when you heard the sound of explosions outside. At first you thought it may have been Bakugo getting frustrated from all of the decorating, but when a series of them continued to shake the very foundation of Heights Alliance, you felt your stomach drop. It was your oversight that caused you to open the door from the storage room, with an explosive burst of flame hitting you and sending you flying back, crashing into the wall. Now in the halls, your hands clutched onto the walls, while you covered your nose from the smoke that still lingered in the air. Your clothes were singed, your skin burned from the lick of the flames, and your eyes watered from the sting of the smoke.
Hello?
You cried, between your coughing fits.
Anyone?
Your ribs stung with each cough. The blast from the storage room took a toll on you as you tried to locate the kitchen. All you needed was a wet cloth, something, anything, to help you breathe. The smoke disorientated your memory of 1A's dorms. It became difficult to know which way you were going and where you came from.
Hey!
Called out a voice in the distance, causing your heart to jump inside your chest.
Where are you?
It sounded like one of the first years, the one that was interning with Amajiki Tamaki by recollection.
Kirishima?
You yelled through your burning lungs.
I'm over here!
You continued to move towards the sound of his voice, hearing more in the distance.
I can hear them!
You heard, distinctly recognizing Midoriya.
Stay where you are, idiot!
No doubt you knew that was Bakugo, but as you moved through the smoke against the walls, the stinging in your eyes grew more intense. Tears ran down your face, swapping your hand between wiping them away and covering your nose and mouth.
I can't
You yelled, hoping that it would help them find you. You stopped in the halls, coughing harder than before, as if each breath just burnt your insides, and with very little strength to move, you leant against the wall, now using both of your hands to clutch your nose and mouth. The heat was becoming unbearable, and the smoke continued to choke. Suddenly, a pair of hands grabbed your shoulders and pulled you away from the wall. Blinded by the smoke, you felt them grab your body and then pull you into another room, shutting the door. With your back against this person, their arms clutched onto your body, and the darkness was soon alit with a bright blue hue. You slowly opened your eyes and saw a blue flame from the hands of your savior, noticing that he waved it around the small space before he extinguished it. You slowly released your hands from your nose and mouth, no longer enveloped by the thick smoke from earlier, and was able to breathe more comfortably. But before you could speak, your mouth was immediately covered by a large hand of the one who held you. "Not one word," he whispered, his voice low and almost teasing. You recognized it from your usual nightly rendezvous in the city, reaching your hand to grasp his. "Dabi?"
I thought I heard them here.
Kayama called between coughs.
"Keep looking,"
yelled Aizawa.
"We're not losing anyone." "On it, boss!"
responded Hisashi. The calls and yells of your teachers echoed outside, and their footsteps rushed past. You wanted to call out, but your voice was muffled by the hand that grasped your mouth. You felt your body tighten in Dabi's grip, causing you to quiet. When silence returned, Dabi released his hand from your mouth, and as you tried to pull away from his grip, he only tightened it around you, causing you to recoil in pain. "Did I hurt you?" he asked with concern.
No, it's just... I stupidly opened a door.
You explained as best as you could with a wry smile.
Got the wind kicked out of me.
You felt Dabi's hold on you loosen a little, but still keeping you close. Looking around, you found yourself in a closet of sorts. It looked like a generic broom closet, which didn't help where you were in 1A's dorms, but it did highlight the fact that both Dabi and yourself were very close, that there was no room to shift or move. "I always thought you were the type to think before you act," Dabi teased while he still listened for any sounds or movement outside. You laughed before you winced in pain, pushing your body into Dabi's for support.
Yeah, teaches me to keep to that.
Ugh, you responded as you tried to breathe through the pain. Dabi inspected your body and noticed some light burns on your arms, most likely from this blast you briefly mentioned. He wondered, the sooner he was able to get you out of here, the sooner he could treat your wounds, just like how you did for him when you first met.
What are you doing here?
You asked before Dabi hushed you. "Trying to look for you," he answered breathily. "And I'm glad I did. Looked like you were caught in the crossfire." You breathed deeply, feeling relief in your lungs, no longer inhaling the smoke outside. You wondered how Dabi was able to rid of the smoke in this closet, but with the rush of thoughts going through your mind, one stuck out the most.
No. Why are you here?
You asked again, clearer, with purpose. Dabi turned back to you, surprised by the stern resolve in your voice. He felt your body stiffen in his hold, while you tried your best to keep a calm and level head about the situation. Dabi surrendered to the fact that this moment came. Despite the many times you both kept each other company outside of this school, he never admitted to you who he truly was. He kept to himself and continued to bask in the growing relationship the both of you nurtured. He exhaled while you felt his warm breath upon the back of your neck. There was a moment of silence between yourselves before you felt his embrace engulf your body. "I'm sorry, little one," he spoke. "I'm a part of this, but it was never meant to spread here." Your eyes widened, coming to every conclusion or every reasoning to disprove his words, but with every thought, they all ended with one word. Villain. Your heart felt like it was going to burst. Otherwise, it was your ribs burning with pain. You couldn't tell with your body racked with all sorts. Now, along with your emotions taking its toll.
You did this?
You spoke slowly.
Not me personally,
He responded calmly.
believe me when I say that this was never part of the plan. That if the pro-heroes had any sense of object permanence, they would have known they were leading us here.
Was that an excuse? You were a hero in training, in your final year of UA, and now the one soul that you trusted outside of this was a villain. But he didn't seem like one. At least those nights when you hung out together, when he teased you while you studied and took you to different parts of the city. Confusion muddled your thoughts before you began to focus more on the pain in breathing.
I can take you somewhere safe,
He spoke in your ear.
where you won't be collateral for someone else's mistake. You don't deserve this pain. Heroes, villains, we all get a bad rap in one way or another. But those with true ideals are the ones that always get burned.
You slowly felt his arms hold you, keeping you upright. You could still feel the prickle of the burns on your skin and the dryness in your eyes before tears pricked them. You were conflicted with all that was said. You enjoyed Dabi's company. He was a relief from all of the schoolwork, but ever since those nights, from when you first met, they were filled with something indescribable. Dabi lowered his head onto your shoulder while you pushed into his chest, engulfed in his embrace. His hand held onto yours, intertwining his fingers between the crevices and keeping you close.
Is it true
You spoke through the pain.
that whatever this is, it was taken here because of oversight?
If that was important to you, yes.
Dabi answered firmly with resolve.
But my only concern is you.
You tried to inhale, but it grew difficult to, until Dabi gently took your chin and lowered his lips onto yours. He gave you his breath for a moment, relieving your lungs and ribs before it turned into a light kiss. Pulling away quickly, you grew delirious from both the pain and what Dabi just did.
At least let me return the favor for what you've done for me.
He explained before he suddenly gripped onto you, heaving your body onto him in the small space of this closet. You leaned your head onto his shoulder, still trying to breathe. Dabi could feel your harsh, hot breath on his neck while tears rolled down your face covered in ash.
Look away.
He warned as he clutched onto the doorknob of the closet. You quickly dug your face into the crook of his neck, expecting a blast to enter the small space you both occupied, before a blue blast of flame shot out from Dabi's hand. The rush of hot air from the hallway outside dissipated from his cold flames, as you heard and felt the roar of it shake the walls. Dabi carried you off your feet and took you down the halls. You clutched onto his jacket as he made a dash, heading for an open window. You could feel the cool breeze from outside wash over you, relieving you only a little from the heat.
Stop!
Yelled a voice from down the hall. You recognized it to be Kayama's voice as soon as Dabi reached the window. The roaring sound of Hisashi's voice echoed through the halls and crashed into the wall just beside the window, stopping Dabi in his tracks. He turned around to find all three teachers present, with Aizawa still running up to them from behind.
Let them go.
Kayama ordered, while Hisashi was ready for another warning shot. Dabi looked between both teachers before his eyes fell on Aizawa, almost on his way towards them. He watched as Aizawa activated his quirk, his hair elevated and his eyes glowing a menacing red. A smirk crossed Darby's lips before his grip tightened on you.
Sorry, but this little one has had enough excitement for one day.
He responded as he took a step towards the window behind him.
No!
Called out Kayama as they watched Dabi descend from the open window with you in his arms. You felt the cool air envelope around you as you descended from the window. However, before you lost consciousness from all the pain, you felt Darby's hands tighten on your body and a light kiss atop your head.